Hello? Hello, hello? Maureen? Hello? I don't think I've seen you before. How's it going? Hi, boy. Welcome. Welcome. 1 second. Okay. There's delay issues, as there normally are. As there normally are when reopening the capture card. How's it going? We're watching supports today. Also, I have this milfoy, and really want to eat it. So I'm probably gonna slap on some supports. We'll go full watch along mode. I'm gonna eat some cake. Cakey. Is milfoy a cake? I guess it's maybe it's a flaky pastry. It's not really not really a cake, I think. Oh, is this month how do I calendar? Is this month the fishing one? No. Okay. Alright. Recently beat Shadow of the Erd Tree. The final boss was a bit of a difficulty spike, so it took me somewhere in the ballpark of 100 to 150 attempts, where the second hardest took like 20 to 25. Damn. I mean, fair. Professor? That is significantly more attempts than I would expect you to say. Because normally you're just like, okay, well, I mean, yeah, whatever, I killed it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like that's most of the time where you end up telling me, and I'm like, how the fuck? Like, what? Like, okay, poi. Out here just, like, obliterating things, sure. But at least the final boss, you know, gave you a little bit of a hassle. Not that games need to give people hassles. It's just, you know. I'm always like, come on, man. I spent, like, multiple hours on that. I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's better for my image, though, because I don't know. People like girl failures, boy failures. Need to be more of a boy failure.
Hi there.
I don't know if that's possible, though. Okay. I'll put on some sports because I do want to eat this thing. My Souls-like weakness is that I always play them like Dark Souls 1, so when enemies have attacks that pierce my block, I struggle a lot. Fair, fair. So you were like, there was a really good shield in Dark Souls 1. I think the Baldur shield was, like, quite good. Like, just, like, 100% his block. Really good stability. Because I think I sword and boarded Dark Souls 1. And, like, blocked everything as well. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done... Oh, this is an Edelgard one, okay.
Use a staff, or a rod, or a broom, for all I care.
My apologies, but I cannot train right now. I have plans for later and don't wish to tire myself. Caspar invited me to train with him, you see.
You slept through the whole debate, didn't you? Fine. I'll summarize it for you.
Not the whole debate. I closed my eyes only after I knew what reading would cover the topic.
There you are. Don't tell me you were sneaking out to do some training.
Of course not. I was sneaking out to avoid you. How did you find me this time?
A mere coincidence. Why would you wish to hide from me?
Because you're an awful nuisance? Why do you pester me so?
To ensure that your talent is not wasted due to your lack of...
It's none of your business how I spend my time or how I use my talent. Have you assumed the role of my mother? You overplay the part. She was only half as overbearing.
What is the matter with you? As house leader, I'm trying to prevent you from causing trouble for yourself and our classmates.
Damn. Sorry, there's just so much cake in my mouth. The first thing that I was gonna ask, unrelated to the current scene, how did you fare against Millennia? Because I'm pretty sure that's a boss you can't block. Second thing is, damn, the feels bad of like, oh, your talents shouldn't be wasted. And then Lynn's just like, but, like, I want to use my talent in a different way or something. You know what I mean? Like, damn. Damn, I feel that. There's so much cake in my mouth. I mean, yeah, I'm eating, welcome, Sable, but I'm eating a millefeuille. And it's pretty good. It's a couple days old, so the flaky pastry isn't as flaky, but all the flavor's still there. Well. Welcome, Cavalier. Did pretty poorly against Millennia. Had to just two-hand my katana, not one of the good ones, and try my best to dodge. I'm so bad at dodging. Sorry, I added a so there. You didn't emphasize. I'm bad at dodging. Fair. Fair. But yeah, I got... Sorry, the thing that stood out to me in the support was that Lynn's just like, man, I'm just trying to, like... I guess it's like he's using his talents for something that he feels like is valuable. But then it's like, why aren't you doing anything? And it's like, he's just, you know... He's just doing his own thing. Letting him solo her? Oh. Yeah, if he shows up. Clearly, Poi definitely would have needed the help.
Fine, I'll try harder. Really. I'm sure you see all this as my interfering with your duty as a leader. Have you considered how it feels for those of us who serve below you? You are a serious pain, you know.
How so?
You're like a mother who insists on accompanying her son to his own knighting ceremony.
That's taking it a bit far, don't you think?
No.
No, I'd say that it's putting it lightly. All your interfering is greatly hindering my research.
I see.
How's it going, Cav?
Very well. You've made your perspective perfectly clear.
Interesting B support setup. I did eventually beat Millennia, but it was a real pain point. Yeah. I think the unfortunate thing with Millennia is definitely like they did not support all playstyles kind of thing. Like literally just not letting people block because it's so incredibly ineffective is like, that's definitely a question mark for me. Does she recover like less HP if you block the attack? Because I feel like that's a really easy number to tune, right? Where like you're allowed to block and she still recovers HP, but it's like notably less because like you're blocking and not all the damage is going to pierce. Like, it's a little confusing to me.
Bernadetta.
Lady Edelgard, what can I do for you?
I appreciate all the effort you're making to overcome your fear of me. Your dedication is commendable. However...
I'm just getting in your way, aren't I?
Oh, man.
Bernie, you're just an intruder. Nobody wants you around. Stupid. Oh.
This is... You're an intruder and nobody wants you around. Bernadetta, I don't really know how to tell you this, but in a popularity contest between you and, like, a bunch of other Fire Emblem characters, You won by like 6k votes. I don't know if this makes sense to you, Bernadetta, but you literally just won like a character popularity contest. Bernadetta, please love yourself. Yeah, welcome Pika, welcome Panda. Welcome. She still heals when you use a 100% fizz shield, so it's not just based on damage. Probably just an X attack heals Y HP if hit. Yeah, and that's why I thought it was a little strange, because it's like, by not having it tied to damage, excuse me, by not like having it tied to damage, that means like shields just don't work, which again, you know, they're fully within their right to just say, okay, well, you have to dodge this boss, like you aren't allowed to shield it. Sure, I guess. I think people are allowed to make artistic decisions in games and then kind of just say whatever. But to me, it's definitely breaking like a game design heuristic to not permit one of the like 2 major gameplay styles. Or one of the major defensive options that a player could have been using for the entire game, and then it just doesn't work there, is like very strange. That's quite strange.
Bernadetta.
Yes.
The problem you keep running into is that you don't listen to what people are really saying. That's why your efforts are in vain. You need to listen instead of jumping to your own conclusions. Are you
Wait,
listening to me?
hold on a second. First of all, that's fucking base, Edelgard. Literally so based. It's like, you're too anxious and too filled with, like, negative emotion to literally listen to what people are saying in front of you. Now, to be fair, Bernadette is an anxious girl failure, so she's not going to understand that necessarily. However, for us in the audience, you know, when was the last time you just stopped listening to somebody because you were like, you know, they said something stupid and then you weren't paying attention to what they were saying, and then you were too busy being like, that last thing they said was really stupid, and then weren't paying attention to them. You know? Very important. Welcome, Kane. Unless you use spears, you basically have no chance of winning by using a shield against the DLC boss either. He just deals too much chip damage to get enough damage, only attacking between combos. Okay. If you need any information, I have stream supports on standby. Thank you. Today we're doing supports and stuff, so I don't know if we'll be doing any theory crafting, but yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Then why aren't you responding?
I wanted to listen until you were finished. Sorry. Were you finished then?
I was.
Then may I please scream now?
By all means. But please try to make it a fairly quiet one.
Just a tiny one.
Oh.
Wait. What was I upset about again? That's weird. I forgot why I was about to scream, and now I don't even need to. What a nice feeling.
Let's go. Edelgard solving mental illness. Let's go. Oh, that's great. That's great. It's like, yeah. You resisted it for like half a second, realized everything was okay, and now you don't need to scream. Damn. It's good. Shield only works because yeah, it's like you can attack from behind a shield with a spear, right? Was that specifically a spear thing?
You're trying your best. I know that. But even so...
But what? What did I do this time? I'm so sorry. Whatever it is. I'll go to my room and never bother you again.
Okay, we were like 90% of the way there. Bernadetta was doing a great job, and then she dropped it. It's fine though. It's fine.
Wait, you didn't let me finish. I was only going to say that.
So first of all, yes, I think I've seen the Bernie Summerall. Nice. Good job, Bernie. Very cute. But second thing to point out, and this is, you know, I guess I'm just speaking from my own experience, right? Is that like, you'd be surprised at, so you're like, okay, so, you know, you're anxious or angry or something about one thing. And then you're like, okay, we're gonna just not, we're gonna chill. It's good. Everything's good. Okay, we're good. And then, like, you give it, like, half a second to, like, creep in again, and then it's like, bam, anxiety immediately. So, you know, that's fair. That's fair. You know, I get you, Bernadetta. That's fair. Unfortunately, what you had to do was do the exact same thing you just did, but again. Right? But that's difficult. I'm aware that that's difficult. It's okay.
Hubert?
Yes?
I wanted to thank you for the other day. You know, when I fainted. Thank you for carrying me back to my room.
That was nothing. It saved me effort in the long run. Leaving you there would have just caused even more trouble.
I guess that's true. Well, thanks. There, I said it, and now I'm going.
That's so true, Poi. I didn't even think about it, but yeah, it's just like... I was gonna say girl failure and not girl failure, but it's like, you know, I think they've both got a little bit of girl failure DNA. You know, Bernadette is a little bit more obvious, but Gold Mary is like far too much confidence, but like not in a good way, like borderline narcissistic. You know.
Is this why you've been circling me like a vulture for the last several hours?
Oh no, God. No, it wasn't just an isolated incident. It's been hours. She's been following him for hours.
Vulture's a bit...
Oh, man.
Oh, yes.
Yet you would have fled if I'd approached. It seems you will avoid me at almost any cost.
Well, that's...
You don't need to say it. I know. I'm frightening. I'm told so often.
Oh, Hubert. Oh, wait, he was happy about it. I thought he... I thought he was, like, kind of sad about that. That he wasn't. He just fucking laughed.
Apologies. I will be mindful not to laugh in your presence from now on.
My bad. My bad, I just won't laugh.
The grin of death itself. Terrifying.
You think so?
Oh no, now you're angry too.
Hardly. I'm sorry to have frightened you.
No, you're not. It's a trick. You're lulling me into a false sense of security. I can't stand it!
She's a lost cause.
Yes. Yes, Hubert, she is. Oh, God. Alright.
Bernadetta, if you have a moment, I would like to discuss what happened before.
My nemesis! The hour of fate arrives. Help!
Wait, I don't remember. What happened in the first one with these two? I don't think I remember.
I am not here to hurt you. You need not even open the door. Just listen to me.
I don't have to open the door? Is this a truce? Okay. I like truces.
She kicked him? Based. Oh, she like wrist through him or something? That's based.
Thank you. I would like to apologize for sticking my nose into your business the way I did.
Oh.
I thought you might be unhappy all cooped up in there, and that maybe I could help. But I've had time to reflect on what you said, and I realize I was mistaken.
Oh, thanks for caring, but I'm fine actually.
I see that. I suppose that is what I'm trying to say. I should not have pushed you to do something that you did not wish to do. And for me to frighten you like that? That was unbecoming conduct for a noble.
Man, it's like all Ferdinand von Ayer. All. Such a good lad. But also so milquetoast generic. Like, it's like, yes, this is exactly what you should say, and good for you, and I'm glad that someone is like, you know, how would you say? Like, not supporting, it's like, okay, so, I think that someone like Bernadetta, right? Like, people go like, you gotta leave your room, because you should. But no one be like, you know, Bernadetta, if you're fine in there, that's great. You know, maybe it's my opinion that leaving is a good idea at some point in time. You gotta train eventually, or go to class eventually. But you know, you do you. But damn, you're so damn milquetoast.
Maybe a little bit.
Frankly, I am embarrassed by my behavior. I disgraced myself. As for my injury, you need not feel guilty or afraid. The sprain was a result of my own thoughtlessness, not anything you did. I have always strived to be a good person, but I suppose all that striving was for nothing. I have failed in my duty as a noble.
Ferdinand?
Yes, Bernadetta?
I don't really know much about this sort of thing, but you shouldn't say things like that about yourself.
Cute, no. Oh. Pain, he's not milquetoast. Yeah, he's milquetoast von Ayer. Don't you know? He's milquetoast von Ayer.
It wasn't all your fault, you know. I'm to blame too. I hurt you, and I'm sorry.
Really, it is fine. It healed quickly.
And it wasn't for nothing either.
I am not so sure.
I do like my time alone. Actually, it's more of a need. But you're right. I also need to venture out every once in a while. Maybe if I work as hard as you do, I can try it a little more.
Yes, keep working at it. You are already much more outgoing than you used to be.
When I mess up, or even when it's just a bad day, it's hard for me to step outside. I'm too scared. But the next day, I try again, because I know that one mistake doesn't ruin everything.
This is a bee support. Why is it so damn cute? Character development. It's so wholesome.
So you're still... I mean, just because you... That doesn't mean... I don't know how to put it, but that's how it is. So, the end.
What a graceful end to the conversation.
Hey! Come on, that was serious! At least I got you to laugh.
Dude. Very cute. Just wait for the A support. I'm sure it will be very wholesome. Also, the support involved Bernie, so of course it was cute. It's like, yes. I guess so. I would like to think that the writers who worked on Bernadetta's, like, support conversations where like, ah yes, I've waited years. I've waited years to write a girl failure like this. Years.
Life is a series of peaks and valleys. Our reunion is, to my mind, the highest of peaks.
Spoken like one who's never known the lowest of valleys.
Damn. Holy shit. That's a lie to say.
To think, we were once a pair of blooms, flourishing side by side in the upper echelons of N-Bar society. Despite our differing aspirations, I think together we could have taken the mantle of leading the Empire.
Tread carefully, Ferdinand.
Some part of me clung to hope that you might emerge from the wreckage. I am glad you have. I know that was a difficult time for you.
Oh, so you surmised that the single most humiliating event of my life was difficult, did you? It is becoming clear to me that this conversation is a waste of my time.
So I know that this is a C support. Like I know that this is a C support. What is the nut face for? What the? Huh? Yeah, so I know that this is a C support. It's likely that both of the people, the throat clearing. Yeah, I meant to mute my mic, and I didn't. I paused the dialogue, and then I didn't press the toggle button. But yes. Okay, this is a C support. So it's unsurprising that they are more adversarial. You know what I mean? And I get that Ferdinand's a little bit of a goofball and sort of lighthearted, so like saying something like, oh, you know, it's difficult, it must have been a difficult time for you, but like being relatively more cheerful in, what is the term? Cheerful in temperament doesn't necessarily like reflect the severity of what happened. So I can see where Constance is coming from. However, I think it's like totally fair for Ferdinand to be like, oh, like, I'm so glad like you're okay. Like it's been so long and like you're not, like everything's good. Which it's not like good, I suppose. So it's sort of like Constance's point. Right. Like it's not good. She was in the fucking, the underground, underdark, the abyss. It always threw me off that it's not called the abyss, it's just called abyss, like proper noun. No the before. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of sad. It's sort of like you see a friend after a really long time and they were like, grr, angry. It's like, oh, but it's not complicated. I'm just like glad to see that you're still at least conscious. Right? But maybe it comes off as a little bit not understanding, you know? Or I feel like Ferdinand's temperament just like doesn't lend well to being like, hey, you got ousted from like nobility, so like that was kind of weird, huh? Like,
Oh, that was rather brusque.
Well, pardon me if I seem unmannerly in the face of a reminder of all I have lost. My family, my home, my friends, my people, everything. I am all that remains.
I'm glad you're still alive and breathing. Yeah, I mean, like, literally, though, right? Also, like, again, it's a C support, and also it's completely reasonable for... It is completely reasonable for people to have, in air quotes, unreasonable reactions. I don't even think that's the best way of framing it, but it's kind of like, there's clearly a lot of baggage here for Constance, because again, like, being ousted from nobility, losing all of your family, your home, your friends, and your people, and whatever qualifies in everything, like, it would be pretty awkward seeing, like, your friend again, I suppose. Right? So, I don't think it's... Yeah, unreasonable isn't the term. It's like, there's a lot of, like, complicated emotions there, right? Which is unfortunate, because it's kind of like, if if those weren't what's the term? It's not that like in the way or something like that, but it's clear in this conversation, I think, that like your image or reflection of the situation, Constance's image or reflection of the situation in her own mind is like complicated and hurts a lot, right? But the reality of the situation of the person in front of her is like, I'm so glad to see that you are still alive and breathing, right? So like, sure, there's a lot of like unresolved stuff, but that's like internal to like Constance. You know what I mean? Constance's support conversation with the female characters are way less antagonistic. Yeah, no, I'm saying that this is on the basis of it being a C conversation, like C support conversation, and I am aware of that. Like, there's a lot of C support conversations that are not, like, the idea is that they don't start off on the right foot. That's very common. Like, particularly, you know, with a lot of Lysithia's supports, it's like, she's just being like a grumpy little gremlin, you know? So, in this case, it's kind of, I guess I'm just pointing out that, like, it is fully within Constance's right to, like, you know, react this way and be, like, upset and have, like, you know, trauma, basically. You know, that's totally reasonable. The only thing that I want to point out is that, like, it's very unfortunate because, like, this kind of stuff happens all the time, right? Where it's, like, the image or thing you remember, like, your associations with this other person, you know, represent something else that is not indicative of what reality is at the moment. Like, your perception is being changed based on experiences that are not happening anymore. Which, you know, it's the thing that happened to Constance is rather severe, so I'm not, like, blaming her for it. I'm just saying that because we are not Constance, we can clearly see how this is unfortunate, that it is still, like, making her suffer to this degree. Little? Little gremlin? Yes, Lysithia is a little gremlin. Yeah.
I did not intend to offend you, Constance.
Then what did you intend? How like the noblest of nobles to be unaware of the suffering one causes. You can't grasp what it is to be a newly minted peasant, can you?
That is simply not true. I care about you, and I was attempting to offer some words of comfort.
Enough. I need more than words, more than you have offered to provide. Though I am without status now, my spirit is no less noble. It will not do for you to condescend to me in my houseless state.
You have my sincerest apologies. That was a grave misstep.
Yeah, again, like, Ferdinand is literally, like, the golden retriever noble boy. You know what I mean? Like, there is, like, no malice in, like, any of his words, right? So it's unfortunate because I feel like there's, maybe it's because it's like this game's like more of a timepiece, right? But like, I'm trying to think of like the way to put it, right? But it's kind of like there's some responsibility on the person who is receiving a message to like receive it not fully negatively all the time, right? And that isn't to say that you can't receive things negatively or that things are like words are negative or not negative. It's that like if you can't even try to afford people like understanding at all, right? And I'm aware that the circumstances are severe in this case, which is why I don't really like blame Constance. So I want to keep saying because like, you know, the severity of what that means in universe to this person is like kind of like that's a lot. However, the general idea is that like there is some responsibility on the person receiving the message to like, you know, part of communication is receiving a message accurately, not necessarily shaped by your perceptions, right? Which is basically impossible because no one can ever do that. But, you know, I think you can try, right? So, yeah, it's unfortunate. His arrogance is different from Lorenzo's. Yeah, I don't know if I get necessarily that vibe. Like, I definitely see a lot of, like, you know, conditioning to be a noble. You know what I mean? Yeah, there we go. It's a lack of self-awareness, right? It just shows up in different ways. So, you know, Ferdinand is definitely not the most self-aware person. But I just feel like looking into, like, a lot of this conversation, it's not even like the... Where is it? It doesn't even feel like necessarily the... Okay. Life is a series of valleys and peaks. Our reunion is, to my mind, the highest of peaks. It's like, I'm happy to see you. And then it's like, you don't know the shit I've been through. And then Ferdinand did not reciprocate this message and was like, oh shit. Like, you're like, you have had it bad. My bad. So there was a disconnect here. Right? And then he's like, I'm happy to see you. Like, so in a similar way, Ferdinand is not, like, did not hear this message because he is too busy being happy seeing Constance, like, existing, right? And then Constance, like, said again, like, hey, I don't know how I feel about meeting you again, basically. And then he went on again. Which again is a lot of, like, Ferdinand saying a lot of words, right? But I think it's like a, you know, communication is a 50-50 street, right? So for example, something like this, I guess, like from Constance's point of view, they're sort of like spoken like someone who's never known the lowest of valleys. This also doesn't really acknowledge what Ferdinand said, right? It's not like, oh, I'm glad that you are happy to see me, but also I've had it really rough, right? Like, there's no, you don't, it's like Ferdinand threw a ball, Constance did not catch that ball and threw a separate ball back at Ferdinand. And then Ferdinand did not catch that ball either, and then sent a separate ball back to Constance, right? It's like neither of them are catching the ball. You know what I mean? Which I think is unfortunate, I suppose. Because I suppose for me, I value more the... There's a lot of misinterpretation of, like, positive motive, I think, for a lot of people, where it's like, it's kind of like an innocuous thing, I would think. And then for the person receiving that to, like, have some degree of... The term isn't tact, right? Like, I want to say tact, but again, like, being mindful of the context that, like, that's not really appropriate in the situation. But, like, if my old friend from a while, despite the fact that I've gone through some shit or whatever, is like, oh, I'm so glad to see that you're all right. Like, the first thing I say is not, like this is not the first thing I say, right? Yeah, Ferdinand threw a baseball, Constance threw back a bowling ball. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel, right? But I do want to point out that, like, on going back to it, it does actually seem like both of them are not... Like, I think Ferdinand clearly did not acknowledge this signal, and then also did not acknowledge this signal, which is fair. So I'm glad I went back and checked. But again, like, my vibe is more like... And it's a lot easier for me to see this vibe because, like, I am not Constance, and I'm not experiencing her emotions, right? But it is unfortunate, right? Because it's kind of like... This conversation could have much more easily gone like, wow, I'm excited to see you. And it's like, I'm glad you're excited to see me, but, like, I've had it really rough. And then Ferdinand's like, oh man, you know what? You probably did have it rough. So, like, what happened? And then, like, she explains what happened. And then he's like, damn, like, we can be in the dumps together because I'm your friend. You know what I mean? And then like this is like a significantly easier conversation instead of Constance being like, "Wah!" You know what I mean? So, anyways, I know that this is a C support, but it's so unfortunate. Like the reason, I guess, all I mean to say by looking at this is that the reason why this conversation kind of bothers me, or the writing in this conversation bothers me, because I feel like it's indicative of like just like people who are literally not listening to each other. Right, and it's like, do either of you listen to yourselves talking? Like what? Like what the fuck? Anyways, like I feel like after you get past this, and then you get to like, I did not intend to offend you. Like this is another again opening for you to be like, okay, that's great. You know, I can see that you didn't mean anything by any of the other stuff you said. But, like, I don't really want to talk about this right now. You can step away from this conversation. Also, like, arguably, I guess the thing is that it's, like, there's no expectation that either of these people can, like, reframe in the moment or, like, understand what they're feeling and then not, like, go in a particular direction. But what I'm pointing out is that there's multiple points in the conversation where they could have, like, there was an opportunity to reframe or to like acknowledge and then reframe. Like multiple opportunities. I think for both people. Because, you know, Ferdinand could have caught this a lot earlier. But yeah, she sees it as him rubbing her newfound lack of nobility in her face with his immediate talk of her noble past, or at least that's my read on it. Yeah, it's like, well, why do you have to talk about like nobility? Right, which is like this part is talking about nobility specifically, and then she's like, bruh. Right. Hey Berg, welcome. Yeah, I like, the thing is, you know, this is a C support conversation. I know that they're often a lot more adversarial, so it's like two huskies scream, howling and feeding off of each other's chaos. Yeah. I miss Flower. What the fuck, Drac? I'm right here. I'm here, Drac. I'm right here. I'm right here. Yeah, because Ferdinand von Ayer is incapable of talking about anything else. Yeah, which is totally fair, right? Like, I acknowledge that that is like a non-character trait. It's like a bad thing. It's a character trait that is like obviously a what is the term? It's the opposite of a boon. It's not good. Right? But I guess usually when I interact with people like this, you know, I just feel like I don't yell at them. I'm just like, okay, man, like you do you, boss. Anyways, there's my communication breakdown lecture on this is all reasonable. Like, all of these emotions are valid and reasonable by both of these people, but man, it's literally the like I made a calculated risk, but man, am I bad at math. It's like something like that, where it's like both of these are completely valid, but unfortunately there was also a lot of opportunity to literally not let this conversation spiral by both people in multiple instances. And it's just kind of like, you idiots. You dumb idiots. I can't believe it. It's a C support. It's a C support. The writers wrote them to have conflict. Whatever. It's just like really annoying. People are annoying.
I did not mean to come across as condescending. I was merely being careless with my words. As you say, I have never experienced loss at such a staggering magnitude. I cannot imagine the pain you have endured.
Indeed, you cannot. I advise against trying. The more you harp on it, the more irritated with you I become. Never shall a day pass that I don't work toward restoring my house and reclaiming my title.
Did you know that 99% of gamblers stop before they hit it big?
other hand, seem content to remind me that it is lost. Thank you, but I had not forgotten.
Constance, please.
This would be a good time to drop it, Ferdinand. Good time to just let it go. Let it go. just drop it. Drop it, my dude. Just you said what you needed to say. You gotta drop it, brother.
I see no trace of the boy who made waves with me at balls and embodied the finest in the nobility. This newfound arrogance of yours is a discredit to House Lyria.
90% of gamblers stop gambling before they hit big. Yeah, it's like oh, what's it called? I was trying to remember what the tie-in was. I apologize for being tired, but yes, it is. It was that Constance is trying to restore her house. She's Gamba. She gotta keep gambling. Oh, that's what it was. She was trying to restore her losses. Sorry, I remember now. She's like, I'm trying to restore the losses to my house, and it's like, yeah, man, you're already down $100. You gotta keep going. You gotta get your $100 back. Chase those losses. That was the tie-in. Okay, I remember now. Fantastic.
I do believe a nap is in order.
Ah, this is lovely. Just feel that breeze.
Dorothea, whatever are you doing here?
I was thinking of relaxing here, but it looks as if someone else is lounging in my spot already. Taking a nap in public like this? Really, Lynn? The nobles look down on such behavior.
Yeah, fuck him.
You do know I am of noble birth.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just teasing. You never do act very noble, though. Why is that?
Each person must follow their own way. This is how I prefer to live. Even if some of the more pretentious nobles like to poke fun at my ways.
Doesn't that bother you? I mean, really? It doesn't hurt your pride or anything?
What use is pride? It doesn't feed nor clothe you. It offers no warmth on a cold night.
First time I've heard a noble say something like that.
Well, most nobles are... oh, what is the polite way to say it? Fools. Yes, they are fools. As for myself...
Oh, what can I say about nobles? They're fucking stupid. They're stupid. They're so unbelievably stupid. Sorry, what was the thing that he said? There was another thing that I was thinking about. Oh yeah, what uses pride? So, okay. Because Lindhard doesn't know, and he asked the question. He asked the rhetorical question that he wasn't expecting an answer for. The use of pride is to shirk off people who are what's it? Attacking you, I guess. Personal attacks on your character or whatever, and it's like, okay, that's great, but like I'm already proud of my accomplishments. Like I don't need this, right? It's like your silly comments about whatever. Like I literally don't care. I am a noble, right? Which you could say is toxic in the context of this game because like the nobles are not great people, but this just goes for like literally anything. It is not the most pleasant, I guess, like combination of emotions, whatever, but like, you know, that's the point. Ironically, Lindhard is quite prideful. He just doesn't show it in the way people usually do. Yeah, it's kind of like, I suppose that's right. I'm thinking more along the lines of, or that makes me think more along the lines of like whenever he does a research or something and he's like, I guess, yeah. So there's like I guess the idea is that it's like, okay, the thing that I'm doing is important. As in, he's doing research, and then other people are telling him to do something else. But then he's like, no, my research is really important. So there's like kind of a fine line between understanding that what he's doing is actually important, and then there's the pride of like, you know, people don't understand that I'm actually doing the right thing, and like my thing is better than their thing, you know what I mean? And I should be proud of the like research or thing that I'm doing. right? And people like don't understand that. Like that's like a type of, you know, like pride, sort of. Right?
My father is the Minister of Domestic Affairs, and he has pride enough for the both of us. For example, did you know he and the Minister of Military Affairs cannot get along, although they value each other greatly? His pride gets in the way, so he can't make amends. That is why there is discord between civil ministers and military officers in the Empire. And so pride serves no good purpose in politics either. So tell me, what use is it?
I wonder if bad blood between civil and military leaders is somewhat unavoidable. The Minister of Domestic Affairs is in charge of all civil officials, so if they just give in easily, their subordinates would lose respect, right? I get the feeling that if your pride isn't equal to the responsibility you bear, then you aren't fit to lead. Also,
An interesting
I happen
perspective
to
from
think you're
Dorothea.
quite charming.
And how necessary is charm? It just gets in the way of living your life.
If you lack charm, nobody will give you a second glance.
I guess it's more self-assuredness than just pride. But the two have a decent bit of overlap. Yeah, I guess the way that I was looking at it, which, like, when I said it out loud, it's maybe not the most correct. But it's that, like, pride is the buffer that allows you to be self-assured. Or it is like one of the... To me, it's one of the emotions that is used as a buffer to be self-assured.
Right, which means more time.
But I don't think that's necessarily accurate. I think I was a little lost in the sauce there.
Lynn, you can't really believe what you're saying, can you?
Also, I think because I don't necessarily have a whole lot of... it's not an emotion that I tap into very often, so... It's not a... I'm too busy suffering from extreme imposter syndrome to have pride in anything I do. Crippling and severe imposter syndrome, unfortunately.
Hunting? Really? There's no way I can do this. Goddess, why couldn't I have stayed in today?
Bernadetta, is this a trouble you are having?
Imposter!
I heard that the duty to hunt is yours today.
The duties all got assigned while I was holed up in my room.
Do not be worrying.
Welcome, Dovir.
I can show you the way to hunt well.
Oh,
She can show us the way!
okay then.
How old is that meme? Sorry, has it hit? Is it 10 years yet? Show the way. Show the way. 6 years ago. Oh my god. Show me the way. God. 6 years ago. January 1st, 2018. Damn. Getting old. My references are getting old. Sorry. Skibbity, Ohio, Gat Riz. Did I do it? That wasn't very skibbity.
When you see a beast, you are thinking of it as an enemy. That is how prey thinks. You must think of the beasts as food. That is how the hunter thinks.
So it's not an enemy, it's food. But, how is it food when it's still alive?
You pick the vegetables from the field. Those have life too. It is the same. You take a blade in your hand and take the lives of the vegetables. You cut their stalks and harvest without mercy. They do not scream, but you are still their killer.
Killer?
Fruit ripens and falls to the ground. The seeds sprout, and a new life is born.
Your Dimitri is level 40 from dancing. That's very funny. That's what happened to my Ingrid last run. Not Ingrid. Was it Ingrid? Is it Ingrid? Yeah, it is Ingrid. Okay. That's what happened to my Ingrid last run. I've been playing Engage, so I thought Chloe for a second. Year 2024 is the year Uganda Knuckles is making a return, mark my words. Yeah, absolutely. The way will come back. More psychology of the jungle from Petra. Yeah, I was gonna say this analogy is pretty great. I love how what's the term? It's kind of like this is not necessarily how I would do this or care to do this or I don't feel the need to do this, right? But I do think it is really cool and admirable that Petra's like, no, in order to be focused like on the hunt, like framing it as like this is what must happen will like aid in how I approach the situation. You know what I mean? So that's Giga based. Petra's kind of based. And then now she's talking about fruits and stuff, which yeah, I'm more I don't know about that one, but we'll see. We'll see where we'll let her cook. I think she's got something, so we gotta let her cook.
That is life's cycle. It has cruelty, yes. But you must end life to eat. You must be killing to be living.
Maybe, but I don't know if I want to be some kind of vegetable murderer.
Yeah, it's not a challenge to overcome, it is a job to be done. Exactly. It's like, if they are the enemy, then it's a challenge. But it's like, it's more, well, you gotta kill to eat.
It is the same for rabbits, deer, pheasants. The only difference being that they cannot cry out. You must do what you must do to be living in this world. It is your task.
A task? Yes, just a task. A completely pointless task.
Feel it. There, in the grass. Prey is moving, just like a vegetable in the wind. Give it an arrow, just like you would give a vegetable a blade. It is just your task.
Right. That makes sense. It's just like cutting a stem.
You are now a hunter. You have learned how to hunt.
I am? I have? Oh, good.
Nice! Cool, now I don't have to do it, right?
You have understanding now. I can tell.
Great! Leave it to me. I'll hunt down my prey just like they're vegetables.
I have belief in you.
Aw, thanks, Petra. I can do this. Make way for Huntmaster Bernie!
Have luck, Bernie.
Have luck.
Ow!
That was cute. Oh.
No! Stay back! I'm sorry, Mr. Rabbit. I didn't mean it!
Oh no. No.
Chasing me!
Okay, well, she tried. Once again, Bernadetta tried. She tried, okay? She tried. I saw a video recently that just randomly used the smoke weed every day soundbite. Apparently MLG memes are coming back too. Oh man. So for one of my most recent teams, I God, I made a first of all, I was speedrunning the game because I wanted to and I thought it was funny. But I made a meme video of it where there was like quick scoping and hit markers and and smoke weed every day and the MLG like smoke a blunt green screen and I was like, man, these memes are so bad. I feel old just making this video. Oh man. Why is Dorothea still a commoner? Oh, actually, I know why. I know why Dorothea is still a commoner. Because I think she very quickly went from level 5 to level 10. And also, some of these... Okay, so I didn't change the class on some of these because I save scummed. And when I tried to class them up, they failed. Despite having like an 80% chance to succeed. So I save scummed. Petra's so based. Petra's great. Love Petra. The important thing is she tried? Yes. The important thing is Bernadetta tried.
Petra, how are you doing? Getting used to life here?
I am settled. Everyone shows great kindness.
I'm glad to hear it. I was so surprised when you first arrived. princess all the way from Bridget.
You have my gratitude. But please do not call me princess. You are making my cheeks blush.
There's nothing to blush about. You're every little girl's dream of what a princess should be. Anyhow, I suppose it's been a long time since you've been back to Bridget, hasn't it? I hope you aren't homesick. Maybe we can cook one of your favorite dishes from back home.
That's
I do
cute.
wish for that, but there is no possibility. The ingredients are not found here.
I suppose you're right. That's probably why they don't cook the food of Bridget in the dining hall. I'm sorry. I just got to thinking about how hard it must be to live somewhere so far away from home and... No, it can't be impossible. I'll fix you a real meal of Bridget. I'll just find a recipe and similar ingredients.
Wait, Dorothea. It is the thinking that counts. But your cooking is... What is it? Horrendous. That's what everyone is saying anyway.
I did. Sorry, I didn't know that Dorothea's cooking was bad. That's so funny. What your cooking is? What's the word? Fucking terrible. It's an embarrassment to cooks everywhere.
Horrendous. Nobody's cooking can be that bad.
Thinking is enough for me. You have my biggest gratitude.
Oh man.
Fine, I'll do something instead of cooking for you. I just want to be sure that you feel at home here. How about a massage? That may help you loosen up.
Ayo?
I have no problems. My body is already able to relax.
Oh? Then perhaps I could sing you lullabies to help you sleep.
Dorothy, why are you so forward? What's happening here? This is a C support. If it was engaged, her cooking being bad would be Dorothea's whole character. I agree.
I'm not having sleeping trouble.
No, if this was engaged, Dorothea's whole character would be talking about the opera. Which, it's really cool how she doesn't talk about the opera all the time to all the people she talks to. It's almost like people aren't one singular character trait, and they can talk about literally anything else and be normal people.
Just know that you never have to worry about putting me out. I like helping my friends. Well then, I must be going, but remember my offer.
Dorothea is filling my heart full.
Damn. Okay. Sports done. Sports done. I don't think... So, once again, we need to talk to people, but we only really need to talk to people of the 2 houses. We don't have to talk to any golden deer. Maybe the action points first?
Professor.
Or the... Yeah, because I don't remember what we're doing. I know we need to raise support with Rhea. Okay, let's see. Do we have B support with Rhea? How do I... There we go. Rhea. She is not at B support. As in, doesn't have the blue glowy B thing, so I think we can talk to her. And, like, bring her to tea. It's like, I'm wondering if I want to tea time people. Or if I want to spend it, like, doing food and stuff. Oops. Where is Rhea?
Really?
Archbishop Rhea. Where is she?
Dear God, please. May I ask a favor?
Wait, was that literally it?
Dear God, please.
No. Okay. There was like another half of them somewhere, right? Oh, she's off to the side. She's over here, way in the corner. Bro, what are are you doing over here? You trying to simp for Ray? Is that why you're over here? Why are you walking over here? Just taking some casual looks at the
That's right.
You can't say that. You can't just say that. You can't just be like, oh, you're trying to riz up Rhea here, and he's like, that's right. That's right. That's exactly what I was doing. That's why I'm down here. I was here. I was gonna try and throw my pickup line at the Archbishop. Yeah.
Professor, have you still not found? I have looked everywhere.
Not
even the knights on guard have seen anything of note.
I think it's this. Yeah.
Let us work together. May the goddess protect dear Flame until she returns to us.
Tea. Let's do tea. Do.
I'm pleased to have.
Okay, it's not that one. Darn. Okay. What is Rhea like talking about? I don't even know. I don't have a good sense.
Of course.
Classes probably doesn't make sense. Gossip, I don't know. The view from the bridge, maybe?
Of course.
Yep. Doesn't seem like a gossiper. Alright.
Of course.
The opera, things that bother you, fashion. Doesn't seem like a fashion person. I don't know how she feels about the opera.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Hopes for your future, heart racing memories, cats. It would be really cute if cats was the correct answer here, but I don't think it is. Maybe this.
Of course.
Yeah, she's like a leader. Of course, she's like future thinking. It would have been very cute if cat was the right answer, though. Okay.
I sense great potential in you. You possess something extraordinary.
This has got to be blush, right? Like, this is a, oh, wow. Oh, you said something nice about me. This definitely, 100%. Or not. Okay, I'm not going to admonish her. I'm not going to praise her for doing that. Maybe nod, like you're just agreeing.
I see.
Of course, okay. I feel like I wouldn't just nod at that. I don't know. It's like, okay, thank you, I guess. I don't know. Have we talked to you yet?
This crown is rather elaborate, but it has been passed down through generations of archbishops. It will be nice to gain a better understanding of each other.
I agree. Nod, nod. Banter. Oh, grumpy. Please, I'm gonna make a joke. I'm gonna check out this joke. Take this joke. Please laugh. No, the joke went away!
I see. Yes. Of course. I see.
There we go. All right. I needed to make sure I made a joke before I left, you know. Don't want to make it awkward. You don't establish a millennia standing church without at least a little bit of forward thinking. Yeah. Just a tiny bit. Tiny little bit.
How quickly this delightful time has passed. However, we must return to our work.
Yep. Yes, sir. Okay. How are we doing with relationship points? Support. Support, right? Yeah. Still not there yet.
May the goddess.
It's like I can't help but feel like I'm wasting my points if I only take her to tea. I guess I could try gifts. And eventually we'll be able to buy gifts. Okay, there we go. I keep forgetting that it's like you have to press the button in the direction. Okay, so we can't buy gifts yet. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Tie for the date, but great work awaits. Yeah, it's like, but we gotta go. Gotta get back to work. But you know, honestly, respectable.
Hello there.
Very respectable and pragmatic.
May the goddess protect.
This is a gift that you unlock the gift shop, or have you just not done the battle yet? I don't know. I'm pretty sure I did the optional battles. So it might be that because this is the one where you get gifts, that A, I did not need to do a tea time and I, like, in quotes, wasted a point, but it's like, it's not that big of a deal. It's this month? Okay. Okay. So we will be able to buy a bunch of gifts and then probably do something with that. So let's clear out the quests. How do I want to use my time? I feel like there are people who need motivation. People need motivation.
We must, if she ran off of her, for her sake, I suggest we assume that she was abducted. Who benefits from... Let's gather all the information.
Okay, we kind of already knew that. Okay. You have the gift shop, by the way? Do I? Already?
Hello there. Return soon, please.
Hey, welcome.
Oh, I do. Oh. Whoops. Hey, Rance.
You
was
have a
weird.
good eye. A pleasure doing business.
Oh my god, it doesn't remove it from the list. That's
have
so
a good
annoying.
You have a good eye. You have a good eye. You have a pleasure doing business. You have a good eye. 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 You have a good eye.
I could have maybe planted some
A pleasure
flowers
doing business with you.
instead of the other thing that I was doing.
A pleasure.
Start with
come
that.
again.
You have a good eye. You have a good eye. You have a good eye. No, that's fair. I wasn't paying attention, so I didn't know if I had it or didn't have it. This dude is obsessed with your eyes. Yeah, can you... Could you imagine talking to a shopkeeper and then he's just like, wow, you have good eyes. And it's like, dude, what? Like, I'm just trying to buy stuff, man. What? Like, what the hell? Like, thank you, but also, what the hell? Violet Franken post. Yeah, about having good eyes. I don't actually think my eyes are that
I
good.
haven't much to go off of, but some...
Okay, I believe all of this is... All of the quest nodes should be pre... Like dialogue that we already know, so I'm not going to bother with them.
Hello.
Casper, say anything new?
I don't know if she ran off or got kidnapped or what. I just know that Flame's in trouble. That's it. I can't keep... Where do I start?
Okay, we already... Okay. No new dialogue there.
You look like
We knew this one.
Professor.
Hey, a beautiful, delicate maiden vanishing into thin air? It is like something out of a book. If it were a book, we would have no need to worry. She would be rescued presently by a dashing nobleman. Do you have any idea as to where she might be? Where she might have wandered off to?
Actually, when looking for treats, I don't know. This?
That is what I thought.
Okay.
Why I am here, in fact. But she is nowhere to be seen.
John Eyre? Yeah, John Von Eyre.
I hope Flame isn't going hungry. If someone really kidnapped her, I'll never forgive them. Now that I think about it, I saw Aloise hanging out by the pond. Not he
Yeah,
was
I think
always...
okay, we knew that. What is this? Deirdre style fried pheasant. That is a mouthful. There. More people need motivation. And I guess also support, because we are recruiting We're recruiting Lysithea, and who else are we recruiting? Leone? Right, this was the problem that's happened a few times, is that, like, Lysithea does not share food with Leone. So we need to do 2 separate ones. The knights are unable to find her, so surely she must be in the most populated area of the monastery. Of course, of course. Of course, of course. Oh yeah, by the way, the standings have changed. Boy, I don't know if you watched the VOD, but currently Lysithea is in the lead for donations. You did? Okay. Just thought I would mention and make aware that I think it's very funny that the what's the term? The Lysithea the heel. The wrestling heel. It's like, guys, do we really want to get the same S support ending again?
That looks delicious. Goddess forgive me, I've just got to indulge.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm actually excited for her build. I think it'll be really cool. Instead of getting to use all of her super overpowered magic spells, she's just gonna fire a magic bow. Great.
Hi.
So many notes! Did not remember there being this many notes. Also, wait, where's the other medicinal herbs are in the greenhouse. Should grab those. That's it.
Hey there, what? Me?
Okay. Oh yeah, also, I don't know why I was training lances on Byleth. Because you need axes to become an armored person. So I don't know why I was training lances. Wait, I was training lances to recruit Leone. That's why. Okay, I remember. Okay. Got it. Because I was gonna say I need axes to become a armored person. So I do need to do that. What lance thing do I have to be at for it? Can you remind me? Because I should do some lance training in the monastery. Oops.
Where could I hear Tom? But he's though it wasn't. Hey, I hope we get a chance to practice. I know I'm in a different class, but
Strength and lances. See? Do I check my stats again? My lances are D. You ever thought about playing Echoes? I've considered playing like the older Fire Emblem games like in my own time, but don't have a way to like capture card it, and I'm not super interested in like running an emulator. So unfortunately, if I did end up playing it, I wouldn't play it on stream.
Who would suspect Flame? If Flame has been taken hostage, then there would be... That's only...
Okay, we already knew that. Because I remember I was like, how would you know that? How would you know that, Hubert?
right.
Professor?
Hey, Tomas, you're looking kind of sus.
I see. I will do what I can. It seems that you are a bit suspicious of me. Might I ask, it has been 2 decades since I last knew it is...
Okay.
A moment.
You got it. Yeah, which gen is Echoes? I'm curious. Fire Emblem... Echoes. Yeah, it's this one. I listened to the final OST, or final battle OST of this one. It kind of slaps. Also, which... Oh, God. What is her name? She's the one that Saline gets. Who's the magic caster girl in this game? Celica. Her name's Celica. She's cute. That's all I got for you. Celica's cute. Having cheekbones is a clear indicator of being evil in this game, apparently. I was like, how do I zoom in on Lauren? Lauren, you can see Lauren's cheekbones. The definition in his chin is chin to going to the cheekbones. You can see it, so therefore he's evil. You like Celica? Unfortunately, her side maps are less than stellar overall. Damn. That's too bad.
Hey, Professor, have you seen Manuela? I saw her running off somewhere. I wonder if it has anything to do... Oh.
She is, but incredibly naive.
Hello.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about her personality. I would say that's probably fair.
Villain is inside. Should be.
There's something cute about naive optimism, I guess. In general. You like Poison Swamp maps? Then you'll love them. I love Blighttown. Blighttown's my favorite. I love Blighttown. Yeah.
Is this about Flame? You find me suspicious.
This option is always so ridiculous to me. You're not from here, Shamir. You're fucking suspicious because you're not from here. Like, very funny.
What would make you suspicious?
All right.
I didn't mean to trouble you.
I'm gonna very quickly use the bathroom and come back. Maybe. Okay, we're back.
Well...
Oh.
Because she was carrying something. I'm not.
Report to Edelgard. Oh, I thought there was another clue there, but I guess not. Yo.
I knew I could count on you.
Okay. And then what is this one? Is this a quest we can accept? Oh yeah, it's the letter thing. Whose letter is this? I think this is Oh, it literally tells you, okay. What's up, Cyril? You have an admirer. Here you go. I'm 99% sure you just need to talk to Gerald to complete the quest. Oh, interesting. Oh. So, like, all the other leads, like, kind of bring you to that direction, and then, like, eventually you just end up talking to Gerald, but...
Nice work.
I just assumed you would have needed to talk to everybody. Oh yeah, and the glowing thing there is to proceed, which we don't want to do. Solana, we don't want to do that yet. We need to train axes. Oh, and we can also turn in, I think, the trade secrets. Or we can pick up the trade secrets thing again.
I'd love to. Hey, how about a favor? I'd love to.
He's one of the ones that are required, maybe some other ones as well, but you can skip an amount of them. Yeah, I would believe that it's actually, like, you just end up talking to Gerald. Hey, who can train me in lances? I believe Setath. Setath can Eloise train me?
Me? I was too...
Oh. Gerald can? Okay. Setath and Gerald. Don't forget Abyss? Okay. We'll do that.
That is, she would never...
Wait.
She would never...
Setath can't train me because he's in fucking... because he's dying. He is distraught. Yeah, he is in distress. Yo, Setath, can you teach me how to do a spear thing? Can you... What the... Anyone doesn't seem to be here right now.
Because of we haven't. What's that? She was carrying something. I'm not.
Gilbert can also train lances. Okay. He's worried, dude. Give him a break. No, I need him to teach me how to do lances.
I was wondering if ink net is.
Also, I started an Engage Maddening run since I never actually did one. Still in the super early game and don't have any plans for units aside from using ETA. Happy with how easy it is so far. That's fair. I struggled in the early game. I just feel like I get overwhelmed by units. Okay, do we need to... Abyss. That's the other thing. I was like, do we need to do anything else? Literally Abyss. Go to Abyss. Do what lance? Do the lance. Do a lance. Whoa, do a flip! Guys, do a flip! What are you going to use ETA for? What was I planning to use my ETA for? I don't know if I was planning on using her. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you see the man with the sickle? He looked like death itself. I saw him at the end of the road, but he stepped around a corner and out of sight. I think he used some kind of secret passage.
Oh. Huh. Humu. I know how it's shaped, but you shouldn't do a lance. You can't stop me! You've heard my ramblings at the beginning of Elden Ring. You can't stop me. The rapier hilt is just so tempting. I don't want to play Engage again, but it feels harder to be creative. Really? I felt like there was a lot of systems in that game. The weapon restriction is maybe a little bit harder, but like inherited skills and then emblem skills and engage skills, like those all seem like a good framework to choose things.
First the knights, then some monk, now a teacher? Church setting up a punchline for a joke or what?
Wait. Monk teacher?
You genius.
You're a teacher. Hilarious. Feels easier to me to make anyone into anything, at least compared to Three Houses. Yes. Yeah, I think the only really big differentiating factor is like people's personal skills. And then I guess their growths. But aside from that, it's sort of like... Yeah. It's like, but how is that different in this game, right? It's like anyone can play any class except for growths. Like, except for the context of growths. I guess there's, like, 4 skill slots you can inherit into. 5. There's 5 skill slots you can inherit into. But the thing is, a lot of these are, like, sword proficiency or, like, lance proficiency. Which, like, you end up just having by virtue of the class that you pick in Engage. It's easier in this than in Engage. Well, I'm hearing that, like, it's easier or it might be harder. I don't know. I don't really know. Like, I thought my build for Byleth at the end of the Maddening run was stupid as hell. Because I, like this... like in this game, I tried to make discount Claude because I just think having a dragon rider that wields a bow is really funny. I don't remember how I did it. I think I made them a wyvern rider and then
We tend to be the... I suppose it's little...
No, I think it was that there was like an emblem that allowed you to equip a bow. Yeah. Discount Claude is Cyril. Why are you level 14? I don't know. Because I am. Is that a problem? Level 14 high or low? I also realized I did not listen at all to what Constance said.
As soon as word spread of Flane's disappearance, the knights burst into abyss.
I thought she was gonna say the knights burst into treats.
We tend to be the first suspects when these things happen, you see. I suppose it's little surprise when there are shady characters always coming and going.
I, for only because you are still in the beginner class. Yeah, I don't think we had any other seals until now. Like, I think I forgot to class up going into the last chapter. And then I went from, like, 10 to 14 or something like that. Right? Yeah, and part of the reason was that I wanted to... Like, I want to class into this. The Armored Knight. Burst into treats, I know. I'm glad someone caught it. But glad someone caught it. I'm getting old. Can't just drop a casual burst into treats.
Poor Flane. She must feel so scared and helpless right now. I hope she's okay.
Oh. She might be dead.
Wow. I knew you had a cynical side, but that's just morbid. I was connected, you know.
Oh man. Terrible. I just think that the skill growth, Bane Boon, and certification system means units have a hard time doing stuff they're not meant to, taking a bigger hit than engaged specifically due to no combat arts. Bruh, come on! Sorry, I know you said a lot of words in that paragraph, but I actually just don't understand what you mean. The skill growth, Bane Boon, and certification system Oh, like Bane or Boon, as in people who are specialized. So like someone who specializes in lances, it's a lot easier to make them like a lance person. She might be dead. Yeah, and you have to certify into things. Yeah, so it's harder to get people to do weird builds. Yeah, so I guess that's the interesting thing. In this game, I actually am of the opinion or think that you can make any character into anything in this game. Still, it is still possible to do that. Which many things will be bad due to skill growths. However, you kind of have to like work for it a little bit, which I think means that it's more satisfying when you like get Lysithea to be an armored knight. You know what I mean? Like that's just funny because like you had to use game systems over like a consistent period of time in order to get or to qualify for that class, and then you know, right, and then you get there. Whereas in Engage, it's all from the like you can just have people inherit skills and then they become what build you were trying to make. So even though there's like still a breadth of skills in the like skills that create a build, there's a breadth of them, and there's equipment that determines again what you can do with that build. It's not like like you don't have to commit as hard to get it to work. So I feel like it's not as satisfying. And also that kind of means there's like less restrictions. But it felt to me like there was more restrictions because sometimes you don't have a weapon proficiency, so you can't just like pass into another thing, and then like that's kind of like, well, what the fuck, you know? Also, I feel like the class skills just aren't super. Yeah, there's like the class skill, the personal skill, your 2 inherited skills, and then your emblem skills. So that's like, there's definitely a lot of room to think about stuff with that, but I think it's still not super whatever. I kind of wanted to use a make a wolf knight, like actually use a wolf knight for the purposes of hobble. I wanted to see if I could figure that out, because it's probably like Kanto and hobble mean that you can just like kite things. In Engage, you only really care about growths in that regard, and you lose out on combat arts, skill levels, and growths. Oh, skill level growths. Yeah, so like nothing's really stopping you from taking a proficiency, and because there's no combat arts, you don't need to theory craft on the axis of what combat arts people have. Yeah, so I mostly agree with all of this. This all makes sense to me. But I guess my conclusion from that is that I think that they're both systems that allow you to do creative things. There's meant to be skill levels. Growths as you read it originally. Oh, skill levels, comma, growths. Okay. But there's still growths and... There's still class growths and stuff in... It can Engage, right? There's both personal and class growths in Engage. Oop.
You're looking for someone? Huh. Try asking Yuri. He's good with stuff like that. I'm better at hitting things than finding them. Honestly, I didn't even know Sedith had a sister. If you figure out where she is and need some muscle, just holler. We all have our strengths. For me, my strength is my strength.
I think it's kind of interesting that Baltus didn't know Sedith had a sister, in air quotes. Because Flane probably wasn't around when he was part of the monastery.
Nah.
Just tried to say that you lose out on more by doing something unorthodox in 3 houses than in Engage. You lose out more by doing something unorthodox in 3 houses than in Engage. Yeah, I think so. I agree. Because, as I was saying, it's like Engage, you can just kind of like pick a class and then you get the weapon for that class, and then like everything just kind of works. Isn't necessarily bad, I guess, but I prefer the more free-flowing system in Engage. Yeah, I agree. I like Engage's system better. I think the like very granular system in 3 houses is like more annoying than anything else. Like needing to be like C rank in lances, or like to recruit Leone, and then you need to have like B rank in lances or in swords to become an assassin. It's just like way too granular. It's very like super RPG-y system-y, instead of just allowing people to play around with the pieces, right? But as you say, because there's no restriction, like there's less of a restriction than in Three Houses, it kind of feels a little more muted because you don't work for it as much, I guess was my observation. But I also prefer systems that just let you like mess around with it, as opposed to like, well, I had to plan to level them up into this class like 5 months ago, so you know, it's understandable. Yeah, I like Engage's systems better. That dude got to put a shirt on. Yeah, Baltus. We need to see the Baltus plot messenger. Oh god.
Looking for Flame? Some knights came looking a bit ago too. I did some of my own hunting, but didn't find any promising leads. I even had some of my people search for her throughout the underground. To no avail.
Oh.
Think about it. The monastery is some 1,000 years old. Who knows how many hidden passageways exist? She could be here, or anywhere, really.
That's... Oh. Yuri actually went out to look for her. That's cute. That's cute! It's fucking broken weaponry. Is there anyone else to talk to? We talked to all the main guys. Alright. When I hear about being creative with builds, I just think that a system with fewer restrictions would aid in that, but it depends on how exactly one wants to be creative with it. Yeah, I think that there's like a few perspectives on this, right? Where like you could say that having creative, well, because yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to explain this, because like a lot of people who are creative or claim to be creative or whatever, like what they say often is that, and I'm not like trying to talk you, I don't think that like the perspective is inherently wrong, right? It's just that, so a lot of people claim like, oh, in order to be creative, like I want like creative freedom to do what I want to do. I think that in essence, having the ability to express autonomy and make creative decisions while you're creating an artwork or something is important, right? Because we value autonomy, and then like using that autonomy to think of things and come up with ideas, I think like is valuable. The other half of it, I think, which is really important, is that constraints often lead to creativity, which is why people talk about, like Dovier said, I did a run, I think it was Dovier, said I did a run where it was all Banes. Like he got people to only work on skills that they were bad at. Because, so, like, that's bad, right? Like, that makes it harder to play the game. So, in order to, like, be successful while playing the game with this restriction, you have to think of how that's going to work. Like, how do I make it successful? Like, what is my solution to this problem that, like, their skill levels are going to be lower? In my opinion, like, honestly, in my opinion, I don't even think that it's much of a restriction, right? It's just kind of like a... I don't really know how much actually people would be affected by using their, like, ineffective skill constantly. Like, I actually don't even know if that would be much of a problem at all. I know that stats matter a lot in this game. So, I don't know. Or I think it was said that stats don't matter in this game, but it's kind of like, for the purposes of how the damage calculation works in this game, like, stats matter. Like, it's literally like a 0 to X system. So if it's 0, you literally don't do damage, which is why I'm saying stats matter. But the point is that restrictions or constraints lead to you needing to have creative solutions, is what I'm saying. So, for example, right, if I need to, like, create a game, and then I'm given, like, some parameters by the producer, right? And then I start working on that. And then I'm like, okay, well, here's my idea, and I want the mechanics to look like this, and then the mechanics in the system is going to have, like, 6... It's going to have an alchemy system involving 6 elements that kind of, like, mix together and have different effects. And then the producer comes to me, and he's like, actually, our theming, the way we want our theming to work is that there's only going to be 3 elements, because that's how we want the theming to work, and we want the general overarching system to not be too complicated for our target audience. So then I have to revisit the drawing board, and I think, okay, so there was value in the system that I had. There was value in the 6 elements alchemy system. I had a bunch of interactions that I wanted to facilitate, and I had an image of what I wanted the gameplay to be like. Now I need to revisit all of that and be like, okay, even if I'm cutting 3 elements, is there a way that I can, like, facilitate the types of gameplay that I was trying to create by, like, okay, well, we're not going to have lightning anymore, but part of lightning's identity was to have, like, a chaining ability that kind of, like, when it alchemizes with other things, it, like, has this chaining ability. Maybe I offload that onto fire. Like, maybe I move this around to this other thing, right? So you can see how the constraint actually leads to me needing to think about something creatively, right? If you're just given full reign to do whatever you want, like, it's a different kind of, like, creativity, right? So this is also frequently seen through the lens of, what is it called? Convergent and divergent thinking. So, like, you can think creatively on both of those axes. So you could be creative divergently by having a lot of space with no constraints and thinking about a lot of things, right? And then you can think convergently, as in now you have constraints and you need to fit all of those ideas. Not necessarily all of them, but you have to fit those ideas into a particular puzzle piece. The interesting thing about games is that the solution, or, like, the solution is framed for you, right? So I don't think it's necessarily a truly creative pursuit, right? Like, there isn't a blank canvas, so to speak. The goal is framed for you. As in, like, you need to beat the next chapter. Right? Which you could also say, I guess, that art is framed for you because we have general guidelines or standards for what we think is beautiful art. So you could say that the solution is still framed for you, or the end result is still framed for you because you are, like, expected to create, like, to produce some kind of result using your skills. But I do feel like it's a good thing. Like, it's a good thing that part of the constraint is already framed for you because, like, the win state is important. However, you could also say that there's, like, you could look to do something creative on a particular map and then still lose. And then, like, the purpose of the creative endeavor, like, winning is part of the constraint. If winning is not part of the constraint and you're actually doing something like, okay, I want to have 5 people who are specialized in lances surround Hegemon Edelgard so that I can take a picture of Hegemon Edelgard with 5 people with lances behind her, and then I'm going to Photoshop her onto a white couch, right? That's like a creative endeavor that does not interact with the win state of this game, but has a constraint because you still need to raise people in lances so that they can be holding lances, and that they need to be strong enough to clear that map to the point where you can have them near Edelgard, or you could literally just Photoshop it. You know what I mean? But it's funnier if you actually take the screenshot in game, in my opinion. Like, that's just funny. So, yeah. Like, constraints do actually facilitate creativity, I guess is what I'm saying. Oftentimes. Or, like, it can still facilitate creativity. Because you need to, like, come up with novel solutions in order to fit the criteria. That makes sense. Did we yap? Was that a good yap? I think I yapped enough for that one. Okay. Base stats from promoting helps a lot. Yeah, I actually noticed this on this playthrough. Is that when I ranked up, like, Bernadetta into a mage, she got a lot of magic stat, which is good. And while having a Bane and reason and learning, bolting is funny. Yes. Panda isn't the same. Wasn't the same with Hilda? Maybe. I remember. That is true. It is faster for someone to become a Wyvern Rider with a Bane and axes than a sniper with a boon and bows. So the Bane isn't unworkable. With a Bane and axes than a sniper with a boon and bows. I don't know if I fully understand that, but yes. Maybe? Is that like referring to engage? Or just in general that you can like train flying and then become a Wyvern Rider? I love the engage class system way more, but both are gone. Good, I'm guessing is what you meant to say? Yeah, I think both are good, and I think ultimately that the gameplay is just different, and like it's fine. Like, both are fine, and I prefer systems where you can more readily access all of the tools. Which is why I think it, like, I like engage better. You could actually also make an argument that the granularity of the system in Three Houses, even though it facilitates like the gameplay of your first run, basically, when you have intentionality of what you want to do, it's actually like it can be a little bit difficult to get it to work in the right way. But again, like the tension between constraints and creativity is like that is fine. That is a valuable thing. While it's cool, can't lie, personally I would love for them to make certain characters can wear the ring, so we could get some really good supports with engage rings. Sucks they used beloved characters. What? What about make certain characters can wear the ring? Oh, like you're suggesting, so like the support conversations could be better. Like if you put a restriction on who could wear what ring, then like you could make better support conversations than like the two-liners that they have. You don't have to get all the requirements for the class, just most of them? Yes. I get why people enjoy it. Just when I saw Emblem, I got excited to see supports, only for me to be disappointed they're short. Yeah, exactly. So it's like your expectation was that you wanted the supports to be more in detail because like the lore and narrative of Fire Emblem matters to you, whereas it was kind of like a 50-50, more leaning on gameplay. It was more like 60... okay, like the engage rings are not like... Support conversations aren't great, so I would say like 70-30. The decision to have rings was more of like a 70-30 leaning on gameplay, and also like people weren't I think they weren't super concerned with like specifically what the emblems say, and more like I feel cool that I'm wearing a ring and that makes me feel cool. Like that's good enough, you know what I mean? So anyways, I think that that's totally fair. And I also felt like the emblem conversations were like amazing. Okay, in 3 Houses, it is faster for a character with a Bane and axes to reach B rank axes and C rank flying than a character with a boon and bows to reach A rank. So units can definitely work with their Banes. I see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that the difference between B rank to A rank was so difficult. But I understand. It's literally like an EXP numbers thing. Which is fair. But yeah, I think like the base systems are lenient enough in this game. It's just like a little finicky sometimes when you're trying to get something specific to happen. Because it's like so damn granular. Okay, it is approaching 12. Once again, I kind of have a strict time limit. Today, we did all of the Abyss stuff. We are prepared to do the next thing. So I think I'm good to do like the grinding off screen and stuff. And to do the rest of the what's it called? The rest of this month. I don't think there's anything else that happens. So I will do that, and then we will be at the underground battle starting next Saturday, and then we'll follow the support stuff that we've been doing. I don't think Banes and Boons matter for in-combat skill XP, which is a lot of where the skill XP comes from. Yes. I also think that the skill gem helps a lot. Like, there's an item that very much assists in how much XP you get. Skill XP. Okay, so it's time to go. Alright, thank you for listening to me yapping. Like getting to yap about constraints. I guess the creative process, maybe. Do I even have a creative process? Is my... And you say no. You aren't accomplished enough. You aren't allowed to talk about having a creative process. Then Professor Florissi got lost in the underground labyrinth and never emerged. Tie for yap. Game was kind of advertised as this celebration of Fire Emblem, so to see the main characters just as props, to me, was a great disappointment. Yeah, I mean, like, that's fair, Rance, and I think the expectation... Like, the expectation of people is different, so, again, you wanted a particular thing out of it, and, it wasn't there, and I think it's fair to be disappointed about that. However, I would also like to propose that for some people, it's just enough that they're props. It's like, it is enough for me as a player to be like, yeah, I equipped the ring of, like, Roy, whatever, and then it's like, yeah, now I feel cool, like, look at my Roy ability in gameplay, like, you know, that's enough for some people. You love constraints, don't you? I'm gonna not answer this question, okay? I don't have to say anything about me and constraints, okay? Alright, we're not gonna do that. Okay, so, that being said, we're at the end, so, if you're still here, I say thank you so much for watching, thank you for being here. We'll pick this up next time on Saturday, and I'll have a schedule out tomorrow, probably. So, thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye. Bye. Yeah, supports are at the start, Rants, if you want to watch the VOD. They were in, like, the first hour. Bye.